What a great way to go out. See, that's what scares me.
Dude.
All right, for those who didn't see the last episode.
All right. We are ready to get this rocking and rolling. How's everybody feeling tonight?
Aroused.
Albert, how you doing?
Same.
So, for those who don't know, we just got done with an epic Halloween-themed boot camp. That's maybe if you guys were watching some of our early episodes, you saw I had a little bit different facial hair going on than I do right now, and I'm so mad that I shaved it off because we're going again today. It's actually Halloween. But how'd you guys feel about the boot camp, Kosmo?
Yeah, so we just got done doing a boot camp, and I don't know, man. I always feel like these things are really amazing, but I feel like this one was really special. You guys flying out from Florida, coming out to Hollywood, and the breakthrough that the guys had. I mean, you saw how one of our guys, Tim, shout out to Tim. We love him so much. He got like really emotional and crying, and I love that. The excitement of it. Yeah.
I didn't know what to expect. Jared and I are from Florida. We're here in sunny Southern California. And this is a new world for me. This is like a very new place to go out and like do cold approach and meet people. And I didn't know if it was going to be people having like kind of the stuck-up attitude, right? Where they're like a little bit more difficult to...
Because you have a bad rap. LA's got a bad rap of like the valley.
I didn't know what I was getting into today. And then all of a sudden, like, we went out and we had a couple events and I was pleasantly surprised. I don't know about you guys.
Oh, okay, so here's my take on this, right? I fucking hate cold approach in Fort Lauderdale. I think a lot of the girls in Miami, Fort Lauderdale, I think that's the more stuck-up girls that we thought LA was like. I mean, I get it. There's a lot of these girls who like the producers and the money and stuff, but I think it's like a Cali thing of as just like Kosmo's famous for, it's good vibes here.
Yeah.
It really is. And it's so refreshing to be that guy that when I cold approach a girl in LA and they're expecting me to be that douche guy, like the Hollywood producer guy, and I'm all of us, we're just like a bunch of goofballs. It works and it clicks here because it's so different. They're not used to it.
A lot of the women, in my opinion, born and raised in Miami, I love Miami, but I would never move back to Miami. I feel like every time we have seminars and we're doing, our seminars on empowering guys and all of the above, Fort Lauderdale, Miami is really, really rough compared to LA. But a lot of people feel that Hollywood is the hardest place to meet women. I don't think it is. Here's what I will say. So cold approach, for those of you that don't know what it is, it means that you're going to walk up to a girl from scratch, you don't know who she is, and you start talking to her, right? I think the cold approach is a lot better in Hollywood.
Yes.
But what happens is to get into a relationship with a girl from Hollywood, now that becomes tough.
Especially Israelis.
Let's not. Are we going to get into this?
That's a whole nother.
Me and Jared just finished getting out of relationship. They were both Israeli. Shout out to all the Israeli women out there.
Hey, I'm Jewish, all right? Nothing against Jewish, but for the record, I can say all the jokes and Israeli stuff I want because, but... Holy shit, that's a whole other can of worms we're not going to get into right now.
And I think, Albert, because of the temptations over here, I would love to hear your guys' thoughts. Relationships in Hollywood are really hard to maintain because of the temptation. It's like they'll go out and then they'll meet a celebrity or they'll meet somebody with a lot of status, a lot more than in Florida. So those are my thoughts.
Miami too's got the status.
I went out last night with the producer, Brent. Give it up for the best producer in the game.
Always in the game, Brent behind the scenes.
We love you, Brent.
Yeah, Kosmo, I'm kind of like taking in this place. We went to this place that you recommended, a place called Delilah here in Southern California. And I'm kind of watching, doing my thing, observing. And it's just like one of those places. It was almost out of a movie. There's like literally, there's a bouncer. There's like a girl at like a stand. And then there's like a line that's not really moving. The line, I don't even know why they have the line there. And then every like 5 minutes, it's just somebody comes up, recognizes this bouncer, like this 6'6", like really good looking, like black dude, and he's just like, "Oh, hey, what's up?" And it's like a guy and then like 3 girls. No, there's no identification checks. No one's like, "Let me see your ID." Like it's like handshake, hug, come on in, and then everyone's just like, "Yeah." It's literally a revolving door of this. I believe the line is just a facade to have it appear like the place is busy. And then there's one guy that came up and I literally pointed to Brent and I go, "I'm pretty sure this guy is like like an artist, like a rapper or something in music." He had a certain look to him. You can tell. And to your point, Kosmo, we had, Brent and I were talking to these couple girls at the bar or whatever. And the girl, whatever, it was just a light conversation. We were just talking. At one point, the girl goes to Brent or me or whatever. She's like, I'm going to go outside and smoke a cigarette, which I was just like, I think that's probably the end of the interaction, whatever. We're not really that crazy about it. And then we see her outside moments later, and she's like talking to that like rapper dude, and he has her like cornered against the wall, and I'm just like, there it was like something, and that's what you're talking about, right? There's always like and even the girl was making comments. She's like, I was like, this place is pretty cool. She was like, I don't know, like whatever, it's my first time here. I do feel like some people have that like, I don't want to say social climber, but it's like they're trying to figure out where they fit in that social equation.
I'm going to play a quick game here with you, Albert, on this one, and then I'm going to toss it your way. We're going to play a game called What Venue Do You Want to Meet Your Dream Girl? All right? So I'm going to compare two venues, and I want you to like, let's go head to head here, okay?
Yep.
Bungalow, which is where we took the guys.
So Bungalow's a bar in in Santa Monica, right? That's more like I would say like a beachier feel almost to it. Yeah.
Okay. Bungalow versus the Wharf.
Wow, that's a tough one. That's really interesting. I think those venues are very similar. Where would I prefer to meet a girl?
Yeah, where would you like to meet a girl? If you're like, I gotta go find my dream girl tonight, and I can only pick either going to the Wharf or the Bungalow.
So the Wharf is in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, for those of you that don't know. And then again, Santa Monica, Bungalow. Let's take the city out of the equation, right?
So it's just a venue.
The venue,
just
okay.
The venue itself. Bungalow.
That's a really good question.
Versus the Wharf, and I got one for you.
I'm a math guy. I'm a numbers guy. So I'm going to go with the Wharf just because it's a larger venue and there's a little bit more, what do you call it? Just people in general. And here's something I noticed, guys, and I want to ask you guys' opinion on this. Brent and I also felt something different this trip that we never felt. In my city where I go out, I tend to know people everywhere I go.
Right.
Bartenders, bouncers, connectors. And
You know people at Fat Cats?
Yeah. So I'm used to being the guy that comes up to a place, gets a handshake, and gets let in, and they move a mountain for me. Whereas here in California, it's like a road game for me. Like, I don't know anybody. Even when we first got to this Delilah place yesterday, I was like kind of there in the middle. I'm like, these guys think I'm some fucking fugazi, like some just like average Joe or whatever. And it's like, it's funny. So I think that maybe even though I don't love some things about South Florida dating and cold approach, I do think there's value in the familiarity of being connected in the social pipeline.
I love how every time I come here to LA with Kosmo, I feel like there's another layer of connections also, where it's like, first it was this guy, Brandon, or whatever, I'm not gonna get into that whole shit. But it's like, oh, we got this promoting it. Then it was like, no, Dean May, he's the fucking man. Shout out to Dean May, I love that guy. It's like, all right, he's a guy to know. And now there's like another tier. It's like, no, but this guy, what's his name? Ro.
Yeah.
Whatever the fuck. But like, it's like, holy shit, there's always like this next tier. But all right, so here's my one for you, Kosmo. All right.
I know you didn't ask me, but I've been to the Wharf like a lot of times as well too in Fort Lauderdale. Hashtag fuck the Wharf. I think the Bungalow is way better. Only because I always feel like when I go to the Wharf, the women I feel like they're always sweaty. And I feel like they always.
That's great.
I'm sorry, I just got to say it. The guys too, but I feel like every time I give a hug to a girl, it's like sweaty, right?
You're a shower guy.
That's how I know. But that's how I know I'm home. When I feel the sweat, I'm like, this is South Florida.
I'm Team Kosmo on this because I literally met a Marvel producer right after we manifested that shit. I'm like,
that's one human. You can't extrapolate that. That's one human.
Okay, and then you meet the none of your business. You're big on dad jokes.
Albert, come on, Team Bungalow. Let's go. Albert, come on.
Like, how do you?
I'm going to play. Last episode, Jared played devil's advocate. I'm going to play devil's advocate. We're also looking through this lens of, for the viewers, I'm not sure when you're watching this, but this is Halloween weekend. So I feel like the energies are different, and we might need to get a more continued sample to understand what's happening. Do you agree there, Kosmo, that the energies are different?
Well, I do all my boot camps in the Bungalow in Santa Monica. I think that the Halloween seminar that we just taught is a lot more difficult than it usually is. I think the vibe is actually a lot even better when. Oh yeah.
Really?
Yep.
All right. So here's my one for you. XS Las Vegas versus Doheny Room here in LA.
XS.
Oh, easy. Okay, all right, that's too easy for you then.
100% XS.
Okay, all right. Delilah or XS? There we go. That's the
Delilah.
Really? Because I love XS.
Wait a
100%.
second.
I'm the opposite of Albert. I'm not a numbers guy. I actually like I like the if I mess up 2 or 3 times with a group, you're blown out for the whole venue. I like high pressure, high stakes. Wow. I don't like, if it was up to me, like tonight we're going out and we're actually not having to coach for the first night and we're going out just as normal people, not coaches. I love venues where if you fuck up 2 or 3 times, we're done. I love that. The Wharf is you can get blown out by a girl 30 different times and still they won't recognize you as a creep. I like the pressure. I like that intimacy of it.
Okay. I think what you're saying makes a lot of sense, but I think I'm looking at it from a different perspective. So I think, man, there's so much of back here. This is going to be a good. Okay. Can we run on this for a little bit? Because I got a lot on this.
I'll just like, this is going to be a good one. The comments are like, this episode sucked, guys.
Like, worst
if you don't like this,
ever.
If you don't, turn it off. Put on a Real Housewife. But we're about to get fucking serious, okay? Here's my counter to that, Kaz. I believe that because I've earned the right to be so selective, I need a lot of people and females in the venue because it's not that I'm going to get blown out. Me getting blown out is not really a thing. It's more that like if there's 8 people, the chance that one of those 8 girls meets my like standard of what I look for in a human being is so low. It's not about me. It's about them. Like I need you to. You can't just be good looking because that's how many good looking women. The old Neil Strauss line is right. Like beauty's very common. What's rare is fill in the blank, right? But I really believe that. I believe that like it's easy to meet good looking women. It's hard for me to meet a girl who understands humor at a high level, who like has some of the values I share, who like understands the music and culture things I like. So for me, it's like it's not about my like ability to not wreck the room. It's more about I'm such a fine grader.
So what you're telling me is you need to find a tall blonde girl who gets humor at a high level, is like a walking dad joke, who's into sports.
Walking dad joke, I like that.
Yeah, like none of your business. Wow. Who also is into sports and has family members in baseball. Barry Bonds is baseball, or I have no idea about sports. Barry Bonds is a baseball guy. Yeah, so who has family in baseball, which you like. If you found a girl like that. That would be, or you got to keep nexting her.
Is he still trying to sell me on moving to California?
I'm just saying. Okay, so for our listeners who don't know, he literally meets his dream girl who's I got like an uncle in the Braves or Barry Bonds or whatever the hell. I don't know sports. I'm met him right now. Who's like a walking dad joke. He's blonde, everything, and he's like, you know what? I got to see some more stuff. I'm not sold on this. I'm like, what more do you want? I feel like LA is like.
Can I tell you what happened?
Blood.
Can I tell you what happened? The thing is that I have this friend. I don't know if you know him. So he meets girls. He gets so excited, and then he goes on like 48-hour dates, and he just like blinds himself to the girl immediately. Mm-hmm. I don't know. You can't relate to that, but I have this friend.
He's talking about Jared,
who immediately gets so excited, and I love that. I love the exuberance. That immediately you're like, "This is it. We're gonna get married." I'm like, "What's her last name?" Like, no idea, but I'm gonna figure it out.
I'm gonna have to agree with you, Albert, on this.
So my point is, take the foot off the pedal, T. Gray. Okay. Let's pump the brakes a little bit. Yes, this is cool, but I was just telling Kosmo that that's my counter to that. But I like Kosmo's the reason I want to round that point. I like his approach of saying like I'm putting myself in the ring, and I did see that, Kosmo. I got to be honest with you, I did see that yesterday. I literally pointed to Brent at one point. I go, all right, this is different because I saw like 20 people walk in there, and of those 20, you could just tell how they move and how they're built. That it's not even the South Florida attractive group. It's like this. It is a different echelon.
Yeah,
and I will agree with you on that. Yeah.
And then what you were saying earlier when I said like high status, the status over here is different. I feel like when you're famous, that's the only thing that can trump a lot of money. Mm-hmm. That's the only thing. Like you can have a lot of money. And there could be a famous person that makes a lot less money than that guy, but the famous person will always win. Right. And LA has that vibe. Like Albert was saying, you can smell it. Just the way that they walk, they just talk. There's like a weird confidence there where you're like, I feel like this person is famous. And I have a quick question for you, Albert. How the fuck did you get into Delilah last night?
Yeah,
you and Brent, another guy with no girls, not from Hollywood, California. That is very impressive.
So we've been hearing about. So just for the listeners, Albert and our amazing producer here, Brent, they went out last night. I needed to sleep. You guys are fucking animals. I had to get my sleep, whatever, because we were going. And we keep hearing from Brent. Albert did some wizardry. We got into this place we couldn't get into, and you don't know anybody here. I've been waiting for this story, so yes, please enlighten us.
So this is actually like my brain is figuring this out kind of in real time. So for the listeners, we are in California. Brent says, let's go out tonight. I'm not feeling it. Brent says the magic words. Let's just go for one drink. We all know what that means.
Yeah.
We've all been for the one drink. It's never one drink. So we text our buddy Kosmo. Kosmo, where should we go tonight? Kosmo says, Delilah, this is the top spot. Now, here's what I think happened here. I think Kosmo gave us a mission that he's like, I don't know if these guys can accomplish it. Like, I think you might have like inadvertently challenged us to do this. And then I started figuring it out in real time. So I showed up, and Jared, it's literally like the movies where there's like the bouncers, the people walk in, and then like, I'm like, so I was like, I asked the girl, I was like, so what is, she's like, she tells me, this is for table reservations. If you'd like to book a table. And she almost like looked at us up and down.
Like, please.
To be like,
peasants.
It's going to be a $2,000 minimum. And it's just me and Brent. When she said that, I think she was looking for a reaction on my face. I went, nothing. Okay, awesome, cool. And then she goes, otherwise there's general admission here. So I'm like kind of like floating. Brent and I are like, I'm like, man, I'm talking to Brent. I'm like, this is weird that we don't have connections here. And I'm just like trying to connect dots, right? Things are moving. The general admission line is building. 0 people are entering from that line.
Right.
Some people walk up and they're like, good to see you. Some people walk up and they're in the middle. They're like, oh, I'm friends with Daniel who's inside and this. And it's like that kind of like, I'll get to you in a second energy. And then I'm just like watching all this happen. And then eventually I'm just like, okay, we don't know anybody. I'm not going to wait this line. This line's fugazi. I'm not falling for this $2,000 because for me and Brent to have one drink, it's not worth it, right?
Very expensive drink.
So I go, you know what? Let's go the tried and true method. Let's do a little greasing, right? So I bill one of the bouncers. I go, hey man, just my buddy and I, this and that. How much you got? I go, $60, $60. He goes, no problem. We go back and forth. I let it cycle. I go back. I go, I'll tell you what, man. I go, here's 100. And he goes, no, I can't do it, man. And then he tells me the GM's there, all this shit. Next thing you know. And then finally I'm like, he goes, 200 each.
200.
200 each. Yeah. And I'm just like, all right. At this point, I'm like, they're trying to play games with me. All right. And I'm not a fucking fugazi, and I'm not a fucking, even though I'm a tourist, I'm not a tourist up here, right? So I understand it. And I go, Brent, we're going to try something. We're going to try the bait and switch. Okay. So I go back to the girl and I said, Brent, follow me. He goes, what are you doing? I go, hi, we'd like to reserve that table for $2,000 right now. And she goes, okay, no problem. She starts bringing out paperwork, starts filling shit out. I'm watching the bouncer. I give him my card. I give him my ID. They start filling us out. They walk us in. As soon as we walk in, Brent's like, what's happening? I'm just like, we're going to walk to the table. We're going to get in. And once we get in, we're going to tell them, hey, you know what? We're not really feeling the vibe. And then we're going to be inside the venue. So we walk in, we have this plan. They come over, they bring all the people. And then I see this guy that I recognize outside who's one of the connectors. And I'm like, man, where do I know you from? And he looks at me and he looks like, you look so familiar. We start talking. He's like, my name is so-and-so, and I'm the head of like nightlife for like this whole giant group. He's like, we're a version of the Grutmans group, which is like the people that run Live and all this stuff. Right. Gives me his card. He goes, dude, can I get your number? Gives all this stuff. Now here's an interesting part. I go, man, dude, you're super cool, brother. You know, tell you what, can I buy you a drink? Can I buy you a round? And he goes, no, man, I'm good, brother, but I appreciate that. He takes off. A couple minutes later, server comes by, brings us a menu, and says, hey, I tell you, just want to let you guys know that your first round is on us. John is taking care of it for you guys. So I try to buy this guy a drink. He says no, ends up giving us a free drink. And I told her, hey, that's awesome. But you know what? It's just my friend and I, just the two of us. I don't think we're going to do the whole table, but here's for your time. I give her a very generous tip.
When you say generous?
I gave her $100. I didn't have to. She didn't ask for anything. But I gave her $100. And she goes, I go, we're going to take off, but thank you so much. She goes, you guys don't want those drinks? And I go, sure, whatever. Brings us a couple Casamigos, brings them over, and then we just enjoyed the venue and just took in the whole thing and circumvented the old process outside.
So I tried something very similar to like that in the Vegas days. I love it. It's called the bait and switch. I love that we have a name for it now.
Yeah.
Where it's like you say you're going to go for the table, they bring you in. What I discovered was if you have a good group of guys, this works very well. But what I saw was a sacrificial goat, because the guys split off and do their own thing. And you go, you know what? I'm not feeling it. Actually, and then they will get a bouncer to escort you out and take you out of there.
Right.
So you can have 3 or 4 of the guys go and love it, but then one person had to be the sacrificial goat. So how did you avoid just tipping her to like not make?
Yeah. So you establish a relationship with the guy that walked us. The one of the guys who's the head guy we already started connecting with him because I think he saw, like, to me and Kosmo, you probably know this. I think all these different like checkpoints are just, they're trying to filter out who's like a Fugazi and who's not a Fugazi.
Right.
And I think the way we were carrying ourselves and the fact that we came in just like two guys get a table, whatever, he was just like, these guys are somebody. I think they saw a watch, they saw this, they asked where we're from, we talked about Miami, he mentioned names, you know.
So the head guy was the one who gave you a round of drinks. So
he sent a round of drinks already with the server. So the server already knows like these are some people that matter. So and that was kind of what I was going to try to do is like build connection, get on a first name basis. It's not, those are the mini things. As people get in the thing, you're like, excuse me, what happened here? It's like, no. Get on a first name basis with the person. Get a warm exchange with the people that are working there. Like tip them when they don't have to be tipped. Try to lead with value.
Sure.
And then once you have that, then you take off their like, you know, random customer programming. They like you as a person individually. And then when it comes to that fine line of, oh, I have to follow procedure because you're not getting the table. It's like, no, I like this guy. You know what? You guys can stay.
So I
you're
think
not keeping the table.
That was a missing element from when I did it. I got my boys in, but I had to be a sacrificial lamb at that when I did it like years ago. I think it's while you're coming in, you have to identify some head guy that while you're getting your table set up, you befriend that guy.
You're already, so the thing about is, and I've seen you in this mode. I see a lot of people in this mode. They're very logistics mode. Where's the people? And then the servers are just like, they're not relevant to you. You're just like, a person, well, what was the thing? Whereas for me, I'm already cold. I'm doing cold approach connection with all the people that work there. Right. They're the most important people in the venue. Yep. The girl that walked us in, the girl sat us down. Her name was Kendall. Ken, we started talking about shit like that. Knowing like those people and getting them to like connect with me, that's the win. As opposed to worrying about like all the other stuff and thinking about the table and the other girls and shit like that.
So you know the LA scene,
thoughts?
Kosmo. What do you feel about the bait and switch methodology?
I think something was really off there, and I think what you pulled off was more of a frequency energy thing where they can just feel that you are not a low value guy, which, you know, you have a lot of things going on in Florida. I think they felt that because that usually doesn't happen, and I don't know how many guys can really pull that off.
Oh, I wouldn't recommend this to everybody.
Yeah, so I have two questions for you. Number one, the guy that you recognize, did you guys really know each other, or was it kind of like a vibe thing? Like, I feel like I know you. So
okay. So in the let's break down like the the hierarchy of this place, right? So there was like.
He's like a Survivor fan, and like this whole thing is just based on the fact that he's like, I loved you naked in Survivor.
Yeah, no. This is the hierarchy of the place, right? There's the pretty girls are up front. They're like trying to sell you the bottles to walk you in. There's like head bouncer guy, and then like backup bouncer guy. There's like club promotery like guy in a blazer dude who's just a promoter, right? There was like, these are all the people I'm just like watching it happen. Brett and I are watching it happen. I'm like identifying all the roles. There was like the two guys that are like GMs or like higher end management. And then there was this guy who like was a promoter guy, but slightly older, like mid 40s, wasn't in the suit, like trying to dress up, was wearing like a baseball cap. And then when the people would come in, he'd be like, no, don't let them in. They're not cool. Like he was that jovial, he matched my energy, like that, like bro, like athlete kind of energy, even though he was like, whatever. And then I saw him talk to people, he saw me. So then, I don't know, when he came over connected, I felt like we got, like, I think what you said is like, I never even heard that term, but it's great. Like frequent, what'd you say? Like frequency?
Yeah, like frequency, like someone, you just caught somebody's wave, you know, kind of just that vibe, the frequency.
Right. And that to me is what I try to like hone in on, exactly what you're saying.
But did you know him?
He looked familiar. I mean, I could have been out with fucking.
Okay, so just like on a tactical level, you didn't know him.
No.
Okay, so let me just go back into like kind of the technique of what you did. You walk up, no girls, with one guy. You're not from LA.
Right.
You walk up, the girl says $2,000. You don't react. So she looks at you going, okay, he's not a low value guy. You weren't like, really?
Yeah.
$2,000?
Right.
So, okay, that's number one. Number two, you're not doing that. So then you went to the bouncer and you try to give him $60, didn't work. $100 didn't work. He wanted $200 a piece. You're like, no. Yeah. That would have been $400 for two guys. So then you did the bait and switch, right? So then you went back. You're like, I'm going to get the table. Here's where you lost me. And here's what I think with what you did was a frequency thing. Most bottle girls in LA, when you're going in to get a table and you cancel that table, they're pissed.
Oh, yeah.
Because they're not making no money there.
Well, he gave her money. He gave her $100.
No. $2,000, like what we paid right now, they would make more money than $100. So they're pissed right off the bat. So there was something that you did because for the most part,
here's a critical part of the story I didn't include that I may or may not influence, and I do this all the time. I'm very big. You guys notice it. I'm very big on names, knowing the names of key players and deploying them at the proper time. So when this critical moment came, because we were building towards it, right? Or in this table, Brent and I are looking at each other like, all these guys are like, can I get your mixers? Can I get this stuff happening?
Did you tell Brent, by the way, that you guys were not going to get the table?
Yeah, I told him.
Okay, so he knew.
He knew that we were
doing. I'm assuming
switch.
Brent was a little nervous here. Obviously, he was.
Yeah. Oh, Brent was fucking shaking.
Yeah.
Right, Brent. I can imagine it.
Brent was sitting. This is how Brent was sitting. Brent was on the edge of the chair, and he was sitting like this. He was like, "This is Brent."
Just not moving.
I didn't want to say it. I don't want to make you feel nervous, but like I could see he was nervous.
Like, we're going to jail. We got to run.
Even for me, there was a little bit element of like the oh man, what's going to happen here? I had other levels of defense that I know I could always pan down to, but furthermore, here's a critical moment, Kosmo, that I forgot to tell you in the story that I think is, if for those who are really brave and want to try this, I don't recommend this. You have to be like, don't do this if you're a layperson. But when that critical moment came by and it was like the, you know what, like we're not going to do it type thing, I was just like, I had my phone open to the text that had the guy's name. His name is John. And I'm just like, I just like had it with the text open like this, like on the table. And I'm just like, yeah, I'm friends with John. And you know what? It's just me and my buddy. And we had some friends that were coming. So, and she already at this point knew he had sent us a round of drinks. She could see on my phone, I name dropped the guy. I'm like, yeah, I'm friends with John and whatnot. But listen, I really appreciate it. We're just going to kind of take off. But this is for your time. Thank you so much. Sorry for that.
Here's what I want to know, because I think that was a mistake. Like I said, I played the bait and switch before.
Yeah.
But it was sacrificial lamb. John was the key element that I was missing there.
Right.
At what point did you befriend John, approach John? John's a promoter. I guess he's a host.
He's a VIP, but he's not a host that's out there like passing things out.
He's like a head guy. But his whole job is
probably controls the promoters.
So he's a VIP host, right? Yeah. So let's break down how you gamed John. Like let's go with that, because I think that is such a crucial element, because otherwise, like what you said, they'll get pissed, they'll take you out, they'll be like, all right, bouncer, get this scared of these guys.
So what happened is, based on Kosmo's point, this guy somehow identified our group, because he came over to our table, to me and Brent's table, and was like almost like the who are you, what's going on here, like there's something I need to know. But
so he approached you.
He came over to our table. Hey, where are you guys from? What's happening? I want to tell you that.
Which goes back to my very esoteric point that a lot of people might be making fun of me right now, like, oh, okay, law of attraction. That was a frequency thing.
Yeah. He could tell that we were different than most people that weren't connected there. And that's why he started asking, where are you guys from? We say Miami. Oh, and then he started pitching us, because he's basically like, his job is to do what, Kosmo? Wrangle these high-level communities, right?
He was a whale that he wanted to collect.
100%.
That's it.
He looks at me as this is a member this is a guy who looks like he fits in this scene, who isn't in the scene. So here's my card. Here's value for you. Let's connect. He asked for my number. I didn't ask for his number.
In an emotional and intuitive level, I'm going to go with frequency. You keep giving us more Easter eggs to your story.
Yeah.
That were really crucial. You keep leaving them out. The second thing that I'm thinking logical and rational is, in LA, if you're showing up at a table with a Rolex watch and only one more guy and gonna spend at least $2,500 with tip and gratuity, he's thinking this, that if I show up with one guy and I have 7 girls, that he won't need me that much because I have women. But the fact that you had no girls there and you were willing to drop that amount of money in one of the hottest venues in Hollywood on a Sunday night, he said, well, I can use this guy because he has women that also too want to get in. And then he'll be like, bro, I'll bring if you're spending $2,000 with no girls, give me $3,000 and I'll bring 9 girls to your table. So I feel on a logical level, that would be it.
Yeah.
But I will say, Brent told me we went hiking to Rainier Canyon today. I did not know you guys went to Delilah. I'm massively impressed. I only have one more question for you regarding the story. The guy came up to you, and so I'm assuming on a logical level, he was like, oh, I can make more money off this guy.
Right.
I'm just going to throw girls on him, and next time he comes, $2,000. No, $3,000, and I'll bring girls as well too. Little does he know you're one of the best, guys at attraction, at attracting
That's
women.
my favorite ever, Kosmo, when guys go up to me in a bar and be like, dude, oh, you have a table, this and that. Oh man, if I get a drink, I can introduce you to some girls, or I can help you meet girls. That's happened to me before in Vegas, where buddies of mine bring male friends, because it's always like, yo, can I bring my buddy? And then they meet me, they know it's my table, and they're like, oh dude, I don't have any money, but dude, let's go out there, man. I'll help you meet some girls. I'm like, oh, and I let them run with it. I'm just like, you can help me meet girls.
Oh my
I'm
God,
like,
thank you so much,
man. I'd love to learn something. I'm just like, I'd like, first of all, I check my ego at the door because I don't think I'm whatever, but I think that I always think it's funny to see it from that vantage point. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I think a really good attorneys, especially prosecutors, I have a lot of friends that are prosecutors, they're good at playing dumb in the beginning.
Yes.
To make the other person feel confident and pump them up, and then it's like jab, right, hook, and the other person's like, oh my God. They play dumb in the beginning to kind of reel the person in, and I think that's a great technique. Shout out to you guys. That was really impressive.
This place was absurd, by the way. I told Brent, I'm like, these are several clear NBA players. Like I think there's an entire team. There's a full. And he's like, how do you know they're NBA players? And I go, well, Brent, when you see one guy that's 6'10", that's a tall guy. When you see 7 guys that are 6'10", that's a basketball team.
Did you recognize the team, or could you?
No, I don't really keep up with the NBA as much. I'm a baseball guy, but when 7 guys are literally hanging out, they're all 6'7" and above. He's just like, no, I know who LeBron James is, but they don't just they're not just in the tall guy club. They obviously work together in a professional.
I'd be
setting.
so mad if it's a tall guy club, because I feel like they go to the wharf every time. There's a tall guy club.
You think there's a tall guy club
every time, bro? I'm gonna keep bringing up this statistic. Only 14% of guys are 6 foot or taller. But in the wharf, if you're not at least 6'3", you're a midget. And
I think it's 4% that are 6'2" or taller.
Yes, 4% 6'2" or taller. When we go to the wharf, it's not even basketball guys. It's like frat boys, country guys. Everyone is 6'3" and shit. I'm like, I'm wearing these height shoes. Yeah. These give me 2 inches, and I'm still a midget. Do you know what that does to my self-esteem?
Nothing. You have very high self-esteem. You're one of the best at having the ability to make fun of yourself, actually. So I don't buy that. You have very high self-esteem.
It comes from the micro penis.
That's what Brent told me about you, yeah.
Well, Brent felt it.
Brent can't
feel it.
Brent can't defend himself. He has no microphone, so I love this.
That. We could just. You do realize we could just rag on Brent all day and night. He can't do anything about it other than me.
Yeah, Brent, you got to eat. No, I'm not going to get into it. You got to eat the. You know what? Kosmo, here's a point about these bars. I'm curious on your take about this. So in these places where it's just literally it's the World Series of value, right? Everybody's
World Series.
It's literally that setting where it's seen and be seen and whatever. Do you think? Because I commented to Brent about this. Do you think that now a girl who's, let's say, a nice, good girl who I don't really like to say a girl's a 7 or a 10 or whatever,
Wholesome.
but not a supermodel, but a pretty girl, but maybe slightly closer to the mean and not in the other stratosphere. Do you think that they automatically become more approachable and more receptive because of the environment that they're in?
In what way? And what do you mean?
So if there's 40 girls at a venue who are supermodels, and now there's 6 or 7 girls who are pretty girls, but they're not supermodels.
I love that question. That was such a good question. Absolutely, they're more approachable. Yep. And the irony of it is, whatever other guys want to consider a 10, or supermodel girls, they rarely get approached. And at the end of the night, they're actually bitter and annoyed that they're not getting approached, because most men are there's no way that I'm going to be able to hold a conversation with this girl. Little do you know, let's just stop saying 10s or whatever, but little do you know that the girls that usually a lot of guys find very attractive, they want to get approached, but they won't, but they don't. So you're right. The girls that are more kind of average, low-key girls, they get approached a lot by, a lot more guys.
And the reverse.
I think they're supposed to be more approachable. I think they end up being more approachable too.
The reverse is also true. So you both know Maddie. Obviously, we met Maddie in the wharf, and whatever. Very pretty girl. I don't think anybody. I mean, Maddie, if you're watching this, I love you. I think she's incredibly attractive and whatnot. And she made the joke. She just recently went to something like Wisconsin or Utah or someplace where it's like, why? But she went there and she's like, I'm a Utah 15. She's like, I am insane here. Like nobody's attractive in this place. And then, but she's a very likable, very approachable type girl. But when she was telling me when she was in an environment, she's like, she closed off. She's like, none of these creeps, none of these guys. She started feeling it. And then I noticed the reverse in Vegas where like when I was living in Vegas, I would see girls that when I'm in Fort Lauderdale, I'm like, yo, you're a Fort Lauderdale 10. You are like gorgeous as shit. But because we're in Vegas and they're just surrounded by that, they're way more approachable and easy because of this comparison thing. So I'm like, this is amazing. Vegas is like ruining me. I'm just getting used to the most gorgeous women ever.
One quick thing on that. So my friend Corinne Kaplan, who was on Survivor, she had a couple seasons. She's on Amazing Race. She went on our podcast, It's Not Polite to Ask. And she made a comment. She lived here in LA.
What is the name of your podcast, though?
It's Not Polite to Ask.
Oh, man.
And she went on our show.
Well played, Jared.
She went on our show and literally said, she goes, in LA, I'm a 7, but I moved to Colorado because in Colorado, I'm a 9. That's literally what she said.
Yeah, the girls were saying that. That's cool. There is some social awareness that if you're going to come in and you're being perceived as a 10 or a really attractive girl, that you're going to get approached like at least at the max, once or twice for the whole night. If you are more attainable for average guys, right, like normal guys, they'll get approached 15, 20, 25 times.
Oh, you think that the more normal girls are getting approached at a higher clip?
Oh, hell yeah.
That's super interesting.
I absolutely think that's a fact.
100% with Kosmo.
Absolutely think that's a fact.
The super gorgeous women... Like, so for you, you're like, oh, I'll approach any girl and blah, blah, blah. But like these super attractive women that I know and have talked about this, they don't get approached that often because guys are too intimidated and scared to go up to them. And that's why, for those watching, if you approach a girl in your city, whatever your city is, a legit 10 of your city, they're actually pretty friendly. They're not like super bitchy off the bat because they're just like, oh, a guy's approaching me. Good for you, no matter what. They don't get it as often. I'm not saying you're going to get them because they know their value, they know their worth. But absolutely, the more like just not stunners, but attractive women in the place, they're the ones that get bombarded left and right with guys coming after them. And that's something I've seen time and time again. I'm 100% with Kosmo.
You know, Kosmo, here's something funny that I told Jared, noticed to Jared. So have you ever noticed this? Next time this happens, just pay attention and you'll never not see it again. If the three of us could be walking, or just group of guys could be walking, or even like sitting at a table having lunch or whatever, and a really, really attractive girl, like unbelievably attractive girl walks by, the phenomenon that always happens is we could be talking about football, whatever. As soon as that girl walks by, everyone does this. They get quiet and they just like look at her for a second and then like observe and then go by. So in my head, I'm like, in the world of like an unbelievably stunning woman, they're just walking through silence. It's like at all times, they're just like,
can you imagine that?
So I try to literally do so I do the opposite. When I see a girl walking by, I just force myself to be like, yeah, anything, no matter talk words. I force words to come out.
Imagine you're walking through life and you're like, no one talks. Everyone's so quiet all the time. You have no idea why.
Yeah.
Even, by the way, I think about that all the time. And I'm so aware of that.
Yeah.
And even when I do my coaching, I try to tell the guys that. The only reason I know that is because I was only famous for 12 months when I did the reality show. There would be a group talking, and as I was walking by during my 12 months of the reality show, they're talking, and I'm walking, and they look at me and stay quiet.
Right.
And that's what that year of me being famous gave me a lot of anxiety and isolation because I couldn't connect with people. I was like, what is going on? So they're talking, having a good time, and I'll do this. A guy will go like this, and he'll do a double take. And like, oh shit, that's the guy from the show. We're watching the show. And they'll stay quiet the whole time.
Yeah.
And as I'm walking, I'm like, this is weird. I can feel it. So if I can feel it and we can all agree that women are 10 times,
more intuitive.
20 times more intuitive than men are, imagine how they feel. So dude, I absolutely think about that all the time.
So let's play with let's play with that. So you're the hot girl in this moment, right? You're experiencing exactly what Albert's saying.
So then what the girl's feeling is what I felt. Anxiety, isolation, they feel lonely, there's no connection there. Think about someone meeting their childhood hero. Like for me right now, it would be Robert De Niro, Denzel Washington. If I ever meet them, I'm going to do the best that I can to treat them as normal as possible because that's what they love. The minute that you're like, they start to feel anxiety. They're like, stop doing that. You're making me feel normal. It's the same thing when someone gets a bad disease or it's like a terminal thing or they're not doing well in life. You want to treat them normal. Right. You don't want to be like, hey, man, are you all right? You want to treat them normal so the other person feels like there's some hope that they might not die in 2 months, this crazy disease they have. You know what I mean? Treat them normal.
So should we manifest this right now and get Denzel Washington on the show?
Oh, my God. Denzel, if you're dude, you're my hero. Like, I love Denzel.
I mean, we got Brent. Hello, you're the guy who does the hashtags, Denzel Washington for this one.
But my point is that going back to Albert's point, and I feel like and I mentioned Denzel for a very specific reason. When you watch Denzel interviews, when people approach him, he always says this: "I'm not a celebrity. I have a full-time job just like you do. I clock in, I clock out," and he does the best that he could to reframe, I am not a celebrity. And when people approach him, he goes, stop with that. Don't do that.
You know who mine would
It's
be?
healthy.
The guy I would freak out. Do you know who I would freak out if we can get them on? Like his is Denzel Washington. Do you know my ideal celebrity that I would be like, this is amazing?
Robert Downey Jr.
No. I mean, although, yes.
Really?
Oh, I know who it is.
Don't get me wrong.
I know who it is.
Yes.
Ryan Reynolds?
Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah,
my God. I would. But who'd be yours if we get them on?
Before I answer, Neil Brennan, who co-created the Chappelle Show, has a great bit about this where he he talks about how as he started getting famous and he'd be around famous people, he felt himself being weird around them. He says, the reason the prize of a radio contest is to meet Taylor Swift is because that's cool, right? And he said most people when they're around he said celebrities, but I think it's just anybody high level. He's like, they're not being normal, they're performing being normal. It's like, he calls it's like you're driving next to a cop. You're just like, hey, look, I'm at 10 and 2. Like, everything's normal, officer. My seatbelt's on, right? It's like you're trying to perform. Even what he described, I felt that all the time. When I meet somebody who's super high level, super impactful, maybe very wealthy, maybe very notable, I can feel myself trying. That's the one time where I'm just perform cool, perform not caring, right? Perform like that.
Don't be weird.
The best opener that I got approached with by a girl when I was in the show, was every girl did this. The show wasn't real. You didn't have a problem picking up women. What is your best pickup line? And one girl walked up to me and literally was excited. She wasn't trying to act cool because she was a big fan of the show. She went, your show was so entertaining and I learned so much and I love watching your show. I forgot her name. My name is Amanda, but I really appreciate your show. Just like that.
Wow.
And I was like, thank you. She wasn't that much of a liar and trying to be cool to be like, hey, what's up? I'm Amanda. What's your name? And trying to not act that she didn't know me. You know what I mean? She accepted the reality, loved the show, but let's keep it moving. I love that. I love the fact that you make another person feel normal, and I feel like why a lot of
that
girls
probably made you calm down. That probably made you relax, right?
I'm not going to say every. I feel that most celebrities that go out have a massive sense of paranoia, especially in 2022, moving forward. Does he have a phone? Does he have an audio recorder? Does she have a phone? What do they want from me? They're so paranoid that when you can walk up, Jared's idols, Ryan Reynolds, be like, yo, by the way, huge fucking fan, love your shit, but just kind of making it feel normal, then I feel like that's the way to go with really attractive women as well, too.
I saw that sign yesterday in Delilah, by the way, and I noticed it by the bar. I don't know if you saw it. It says, please no photos or photography.
It is exactly like how Soho House is. You cannot take pictures there. They will kick you out.
So, Ryan, love Deadpool. Love your stuff. Appreciate you. Very entertaining. Please come on the show, please.
Like that, Jared, but without the without the dick sucking energy. Do it again.
Oh, massive dick sucking energy going on, Ryan. Whatever you need, brother. I need you. Please, Ryan. No, you're doing good. Keep up the good work.
I've actually This is not to get into the for those who watched the last episode that I was on here. Not to get into the I like plane crashes energy, but
can we not? Yeah, can we not talk about that, dude?
I'm no fear of plane crashes.
Oh, sorry. Jesus Christ,
I have this visual of if you ever die in a plane crash, I'm gonna know that everyone was panicking and you're just looking at everyone going, I lived a good life, y'all. I'm good. Yo, homie, I'm good.
Like, he's causing this plane crash. He's like, it doesn't get any better from here. Screw it. Let's just end it.
If we take Albert to Tulum with us, I am not flying on a fucking plane with Albert.
You get your own flight, buddy.
Because
if anyone's not going to die in a plane crash, it's the guy that's not afraid of dying in the plane crash.
I have not lived my best life yet. Please,
we
God.
got more to go.
Yes.
But what a great way to go out.
See, that's what scares me.
Dude.
All right, for those who didn't see the last episode, where they're talking about fear and death, and I said that I'm not afraid of dying, and I actually think that when there's turbulence on a plane and people get nervous, I actually feel like this would be a cool way to go. I'm okay with it. But anyway, to lean into that energy a little bit, I kind of feel like I've lost that sense of heroes and putting people on pedestals when it comes to celebrities. I feel like, the old saying was like, when your heroes, what's the saying? It's like when your heroes become your rivals or something like that.
Careful meeting your heroes or something like that.
So, but I think if there's one, it'd probably be Vince Vaughn. I love Vince Vaughn.
Yeah.
Funny enough, actually, before the show started, I was going to tell you this. One of the things I liked about Delilah, the venue, was it was literally like when they first opened the door, I don't know if you saw it, but they were literally playing the song from Swingers. So the movie Swingers is what got me into, it was literally like the Swingers vibe where they have like a live band and a guy playing, like it wasn't a DJ and it wasn't a rock band. It was like a lounge playing like that Swingers, like lounge music.
Brent's over there going, this place is dead anyway.
Yeah, man. It's literally like the scene in Swingers. So, and that's funny enough, that's my all-time favorite movie, Swingers. And I know like Doug Lyman and Jon Favreau created it. Like they based it a lot in this like LA culture, but that was what got me into. Funny enough, Jared, before the game, before the show, The Pickup Artist, love Kosmo from season 1. Before all of that, Swingers was like my first kick in the butt that I was like, oh my God, I should go out and like try to meet people at bars. That was like 6 to 8 months before I got into anything else. So Vince Vaughn, who like obviously the iconic Trent from the movie Swingers, is like my idol probably.
Amazing. So, all right, prepare us for tonight. Where are we going tonight? What's the vibe? What should we know?
We're going to Tao tonight. I feel like this podcast is plugging Delilah and
Right.
and
We
like
should get paid.
We should get a sponsorship right now.
Yeah, we should get sponsors here at this point.
Well, I'm excited about tonight because we've been coaching for the last 60 hours, and to go out tonight and to just have fun and not constantly be worried about another guy having to, overcome his social anxiety, how to build attraction with a girl. We can just kind of like unwind and be ourselves. But, I can kind of make a prediction of what I think is going to happen.
Predict
tonight.
away. Let's see. And next episode, we'll let you guys know if it comes true.
What's your prediction, Kaz?
Yeah.
So I think we're going to get there, and I feel that we're going to befriend very quickly, not women, but a lot of the high-value guys that are going to be next to us. And I feel like we're going to create a vortex meaning like a lot of people that don't know each other to get them to meet each other. And we're going to have a lot of fun talking to women. And I feel like at the end of the night, there's probably going to be 3 or 4 or 5 girls back here by like 1:30 a.m.
I should have brought my Tulum hat. That's my only regret.
So that's that. Let's see if it happens. This is going to be my prediction. But I think the night's going to start with us really not gaming, but just making friends with the guys there first. This is what I see happening.
And it's Halloween.
Yeah. So yeah, that's what I think is going to happen.
For those who don't know, though, every time Kosmo and I wear a Tulum hat with those big rimmed hats, we just dominate, take over. I should literally have like an emergency stash of Tulum hats, like just to break. Well, that guy's going to be there, so maybe I'll buy another fucking random hat from him. He's always selling it.
Yeah, but we have to ignore his other promoter friend because he's a creep.
They're friends.
Yeah, they're best friends.
We got to get you a Tulum hat, brother.
I just need hat in general. I don't know. That's interesting. I'm watching you guys talk about this. I don't know. I don't think I ever go out like with the expectation of like I'm going to do that. It's interesting that you guys put it like that. I try to like always just say like, I don't know, man. I'm getting older. I'm 37. Like when I go out, I'm just like, it's almost like I keep my expectations really low, and I just try to let things come to me. I guess I don't know. I don't really like.
I don't really believe that.
I don't believe it.
I'm dead serious.
literally rolling my. No, I know you're serious, but I think you believe that. But at the end of the day, I never see you go out and just like, well, we're just gonna have one drink. No, we're gonna fucking go to
and here's
gonna end up at Fat Cats. I am bringing a girl here, come head or high water.
And here's also why I don't believe that. Here's also why I don't believe
you're just
that.
planning a party. You're like, we need alcohol. Like you're ready,
just in case.
It's a really good mindset to have.
I have a cruise ship, okay? And there's gonna be people on my cruise ship. They're gonna be gambling, drinking.
You're the guy not screaming in a plane crash. We get it, bro.
Yeah,
like,
no, but I'm saying I have lifeboats there. I'm not saying I'm gonna use them.
You're Titanic and you're ready to go down with the music.
I'm gonna have a nice, gentle cruise around the ocean, is what I think. And if we need the lifeboats, we use them. But
if I thought what you said was actually true and you really believed it, but I think it's a good way of convincing yourself that you believe it. I think it's a good mindset to have. Like my mindset is I want to go out and literally have drinks with you three, have fun. Yeah. That's my mindset.
I go undersell, over deliver in everything I try to do in life.
Well, here's
Brent, can we take this edit of what Albert just said, and you're gonna film what's gonna go on at tonight at 2 a.m. or 3 a.m. and just Albert like we're like, we're raging on.
Here's my counter. Here's my counter to this, Jerry. No, go, Jerry. You go. Go. No, you go first.
I was gonna say here's why I'm gonna call you out right now. So guys, girls, everyone watching and listening, Albert screenshot me a bar that was really not the place to go to. So I responded by saying, that place looks really whack. I've never been there. If I haven't been there and I've been living here for 15 years and know a lot of people, you knew that it was not going to be a good venue. So then 2 minutes later, I text Albert and Brent, here's the hottest spot to go to on a Sunday. If you truly had no expectations, like you're saying, and you only wanted to go out and spend time with Brent and have one drink, you would have went to the bar that was whack. Your brain went to, is Kosmo challenging me right now? Is this the best venue? I want to feel this shit. So I feel like even when I am gaming with you and talking to women with you out in social gatherings, there is a level of expectation that you do have for yourself. And I think every high value guy that I've met has high expectations because we want to keep growing. We have a growth mindset. So there's a level of we want to grow. So bring me the most challenging opponent that you have or the situation.
And knowing Albert, I'm going to say he truly believes it. He's like, we're just going to go out. We're going to chill. We'll have a fun night.
Let me reel it back a little bit. Because I think Cosmo's very close to what it is here. Okay. I'm not saying I'm going to go out.
The truth comes out, guys.
No, I'm not saying we're going to go out and like it's going to be boring or not fun. But here's my take on this. I feel like the very few times that I'm like, I'm going to go out today and I'm going to meet a super hot girl. I'm going to bring her home. When I go out with that mindset of like the outcome, I punt. And like I don't do well and I have bad approaches, which are very rare for me. What I try to do is put myself in the right place at the right time and no pun intended, let the chips fall where they may, right? Like I don't go up there to be like, it's like in baseball. If you go up there like, I'm going to hit a home run, you're probably going to strike out. But if you're just like, I'm going to see a pitch well, and if it's in the right zone, I'm going to try to put a good swing on.
There's a big difference.
That is exactly
there's a big difference between me saying what I think is going to happen tonight. I go, I mean, guys, the only way we'll have fun tonight is if we get 5 girls back here and we're going to like, I almost said it like a matter of fact. I almost said it like if I'm going to go like this will go down. It went down. It's almost like I'm not putting pressure on myself. Yeah, I feel like that's going to happen, but it's not. If it doesn't happen, I am totally fine with just vibing with you guys, hanging out, talking about whatever, and I'll go home happy. I'm cool.
All right, you know what? I'm just going to call it tonight, boys' night. No girls.
Okay, so
we're gonna throw our wallets in the middle, our watches in the middle. Forget women. Just us boys tonight. No expectations.
You know what's funny? When you go in with that outlook, sometimes it's super effective.
Yeah.
I am going out with that outlook, but you asked me like what would be a prediction, or maybe I asked myself that. I'm not sure.
My prediction is I'm only dancing with Kosmo tonight.
Okay, so now I have a good question for both of you. What is your honest prediction if there was $45,000 on the line that we have to give away each $45,000? What do you think is going to happen tonight? Start with Jared, then Albert. That you see now, that's a different frame now. So if we have $45,000 on the line, and it's not like we're going to try less or try more. When we're out and there's women around and there's cool guys around, we just are being. We're not doing. You see, there's a difference there, right? Yeah. Like when you're doing, you're trying too much. When you're being, it's like somebody telling me, "Don't be Latino." I'm like, what? But I am. How do I not do that? Yeah. It's just I'm being that. So predictions.
kind of agree with what you're going to say. I mean, I know we have some girls that are meeting us out. I know we're going to run into some people that we know. I know there's going to be alcohol and whatnot involved. $45,000 on the line. 100%. Okay, I'm not doing 100. 90% chance we're going to have an after party. I don't know if it's going to be here or it's going to be somewhere else. I think we're going to befriend a random high status guy, what you're talking about, and I think he's going to become like our new boy. Everything.
I said that.
Okay. You said, well, yeah. So
we both look the same to you. Got it. Okay.
Whoever said you're both
Cubans. Two Cubans.
Look,
you guys both look the same.
I only see Latino with you.
Albert, Alvarado, Alvaro, Kosmo, same thing.
I think we're going to adopt some like cool high status guy. I think we're going to have an after party either here or someplace else. I think
my brother. I want a prediction. This sounds like it's all over the place. Like, what do you think?
Tell
like
Jared,
a
what's
specific
happening?
prediction.
Jim being very specific.
They might be here. They might be there. No, I said this. We're gonna walk in tonight. I feel like we're gonna like make friends with very high value guys there. High value meaning that, they're just cool guys and, they're probably with a lot of girls. I have 5 girls come in like 2 hours. So we're going to have girls as well too. My prediction is very simple. We're going to start an energy bubble. Yep. Tables are going to like us. We're going to befriend guys. And then at this place, we're going to have 4 or 5 new girls that we haven't met because the girls that I invited are most likely coming back, right? Yeah. That's it. That's my prediction. I might be wrong.
This place. All right, so here's where I disagree. I think we're going to end up in a random spot. I think we're going to adopt some new guy. Not the promoter guy. We're not going to say his name, but we're going to adopt some new like best friend, and he's going to let us know about something going on. I think maybe half of our girls are going to leave, and we're going to collect double the amount somewhere else, and then we're going to go to this new place. One of us is going to end up getting laid in some weird way, like it was in a hot tub or whatever, and that is my ultimate prediction. That's as specific as I can get.
So we won't bring girls back here then.
I don't think that's going to happen.
Okay, so Albert.
Wow. Okay. To give you the 4 quarters.
Don't be a politician right now, bro.
No, I'm gonna give you the 4 quarters. This is 4 quarters.
Quarter 1, okay.
Quarter 1. I think we're gonna show up. Cosmo, I saw the look in your fucking face. He's not joking. This thing looks like it's going to be a rager tonight at Tao nightclub in Los Angeles. So I think there's going to be a lot of frantic. Can we get in? Who's here? Where's there? The gathering of this one's running late. This one's behind. So I think there's going to be a lot of frenetic energy at the beginning. There's going to be stress, worry, and concern. Quarter 1. Quarter 2, we're going to arrive, and it's going to be feeling out the venue, feeling out each other. It's loud. Who likes who's connecting where? Who are we meeting? What are we doing? What are we spending? Quarter 3, we reach flow state. The wave and the venue in our group becomes like a weather system, right? And I think everyone's going to kind of find their little pocket and we're going to flow. And I do think there's going to be laughter and joy and celebration. And then quarter 4 is I'm going to be alone at Denny's eating breakfast. Brent's going to probably take a girl home.
Yeah.
Jarrett's going to Irish goodbye. And Kosmo will be invited to something that the rest of us are not cool enough to join. And quite frankly, don't belong.
Watch all of us just like get arrested randomly. So Brent pulls a threesome and Brent's just like, I don't know what you guys are doing, but this is...
Really good answer, Albert, to what do you really think, honestly?
That was my answer.
No, you don't.
Right,
no,
maybe
you don't.
quarter 4 is a mystery.
You're going to be at Denny's by yourself.
No, I like quarter. Okay, quarter.
Crying and masturbating uses his own tears.
Quarter 4. I actually think Jarrett nailed it. I think that we're gonna probably go off campus to a new location that like maybe one of Kosmo friends knows, maybe a girl that we meet there, maybe a high value guy. I think we're gonna be invited to another place. Apparently, I'm learning the lay of the land. Jarrett said that. What is it? Florida is about boats. Vegas is about clubs, and LA is about after parties, right? And I think that we're going to probably get sucked into some kind of after party place at somebody else's.
At the end of this podcast, I mean, we're going to try to do like a video of at the end of the night, try to plug it in somewhere.
You got to edit it.
But I do think that
just for this one. Brent's stressed already.
So I do think I do think that I totally disagree with your quarter 1, quarter 2.
We'll see.
And I'm going to do my best job not to make that happen. Here's why, and here's what a lot of guys should do if you guys are going out with your guy friends. Tao opens up at 10 p.m. What time do you think I told the girls to show up here?
8:30.
8 o'clock.
8 o'clock. I'm about to say.
Savage.
Smart.
Why 8 o'clock? Because you're going to show up at what time?
9:15.
Yeah.
9:30.
Yeah. Well, I think they'll show up like at 8. 38:45. So we have an hour and 15 minutes to vibe with them. We're going to now come in with a good energy. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 girls. We have bottles, so there's not going to be any frenetic energy. We're going to walk right in. It's going to be really smooth. Before walking in, we're going to talk to a lot of girls, a lot of guys. Right when we get to the table, I feel like it's going to be instant. I feel like your quarter 3 is my quarter number 1. Let's see what happens.
Let's see what happens. All right, so I don't want to be the Gestapo police, but we're gonna have to wrap up this episode. Thank you to all our viewers. You give me the greatest job in the world. I appreciate every single one of you. And on a future episode, we will let you know how it goes. So enjoy.